What class did you hate the most in high school? Everyone at school knew that my friend Lizzie had severe social anxiety disorder. Just last year, she threw up all over her own clothes during a book report. This year, during speech class, she stumbled while introducing herself. So our teacher, Mr. Wilson, warned her, "I fail shy students like you all the time." She threw up again after class, shaking from the threat. She splashed water over her face and glared at her own reflection. "I'll do anything to pass the class. I'll show him." I smiled and hugged her, proud of her determination. During the week, Lizzie seemed like a whole new person. She greeted people in the hallways, practiced talking to strangers. The first time she volunteered to answer a question in class, everyone was blown away. Even Mr. Wilson said, "See, you just needed to be pushed." When we were handed an assignment, a 5-minute speech about the ethics of free speech, Lizzie smiled confidently, already making plans to practice at home and perform it in advance in front of parents and friends. I felt excited for her and wished her luck, not noticing that her hands trembled slightly. The day of the assignment arrived, and each student went up to present their opinion. Mr. Wilson had been oddly quiet, jotting down mistakes while they spoke. When Lizzie's turn came, she made it 2 sentences before freezing completely. Just stood there shaking while Mr. Wilson tapped his pen impatiently. The tension in the room seemed to affect everyone. Eventually, he just stood up and said, "One last chance. Friday. Don't waste my time again." After that, Lizzie disappeared during lunch. I found her once in a bathroom stall, whispering her speech to the wall with tears staining her cheeks. She dumped anxiety pills in her shaking hands and ate them like they were Tic Tacs. I tried to comfort her, but she shook her head. "I'm fine. I can do this. I can be better." Friday's speech class arrived, and everyone felt more nervous than the first day of class. Lizzie walked to the front like she was heading to her execution. Her hands trembled as she began. Mr. Wilson started to torment her immediately. "Too quiet. Project." She raised her voice. "Now you're shouting. Control yourself." She tried to adjust. "Boring. Where's the passion? Speak faster and stop rushing." He clicked his pen aggressively and grinded his teeth. "Stop staring at the board. Look at your audience." The final blow came with a sneer. "You look like you really want to fail my class. Maybe some people just aren't meant to be heard." Lizzie stood there with tears streaming down her face. The whole room went silent. We all looked away, embarrassed for her. But from the corner of my eye, I saw her tears stop and her expression go solemn. She sat down beside me and whispered, "You're right. Some people aren't meant to be heard." I tried to comfort Lizzie, telling her it's fine, but her hands gripped the desk tightly, knuckles turning white. She glared at him, grinding her teeth so loudly the entire row stared at her. Mr. Wilson called up Jose next, the kid who never did homework and somehow still passed every class. Jose shuffled up with wrinkled notes, yawning. He kept saying and like every other word and didn't look up at his audience once. Mr. Wilson just nodded along, said nothing, not one criticism. That's when Lizzie burst out snorting and laughing. "Too boring!" she shouted from her seat. The room fell silent. Everyone turned to stare. Jose laughed awkwardly and tried to continue, but Lizzie stood up. "Too slow! Stop mumbling!" Mr. Wilson's face went red. "Lizzie, what are you doing? Sit down immediately." My eyes darted back and forth between them. She ignored the teacher and screamed at Jose, "You look so stupid up there!" The class froze. I'd never heard Lizzie raise her voice before that day, and now she was rudely shouting, "Get out of my classroom, now! You failed!" Mr. Wilson pointed at the door with a smug, power-tripping smirk. Lizzie's face split into a terrifying grin of her own, calmly walking back onto the podium. "Fail me? How about I fail you?" She shoved Mr. Wilson hard off the podium. Her hand grabbed the microphone as he stumbled backward. She tackled him to the ground and squatted on his chest, forcing the microphone against his teeth until he opened his mouth, pushing it further down his throat. We listened to the gurgling, struggling sounds through the speakers. "What was that, sir? I can't hear you!" Mr. Wilson gagged and tried to push her off. She bit down on his hand to stop him, his muffled screams blasting through the speakers. "Project! Where's the passion?" She pressed harder and his face started turning purple. Tears rolled down onto the floor while he struggled to breathe. Some people aren't meant to be heard, right? People in the class screamed and scrambled out to get help. I couldn't move, staring at them in disbelief. She had been doing so well with her anxiety up until the moment Mr. Wilson bullied her. Now she's lost it. I opened my mouth, mumbling as I approached. "Lizzie, please, it's okay now. Let's stop, please." But she refused to budge until 2 football players entered the room and finally managed to pull her off, her hand still gripping the now bloodied microphone and laughing hysterically. "I commanded the room, just like you wanted." They had to practically drag her out while she kept screaming, leaving Mr. Wilson battered and wheezing on the floor. Mr. Wilson never came back to teach after that, and I don't blame him. Lizzie got expelled and charged with assault. They put her in mandatory psychiatric hold.